Hey everybody! Well, today I thought I'd show you my least favorite products of 2010. So the reason that I decided to call this my least favorite as opposed to my worst is that I sort of don't feel that it's right to say something's the worst product that I've ever used, because I'm really reviewing it based on how it reacts to my skin. So what I decided to do instead is just say that these are my least favorite and things that I definitely would not repurchase. Although there is one item at the end that I am going to call the worst, and there's sort of a reason besides the performance of it, but something to do with what I've just found out from the company, which is really upsetting me, so I want to share that with you also. And this morning I'm going to go for a more conservative type of look. I switched out to just a plain pair of glasses. So the first thing that I want to show you is my Obagi New Derm Gentle Cleanser. Now Obagi is definitely a great company, so I don't want anybody to think that I'm saying that there's something wrong with the company or the product, not at all. But for me, this just didn't work at all. This is their Gentle Cleanser. It is AM PM. It's from their New Derm. And I understand that this is to be used in conjunction with several other steps, but I chose to try this first and I'm glad that I did. This was probably the most drying cleanser that I've ever used. Now this is just a reaction that was on my skin. So it actually felt like somebody had gone in and sucked out all the moisture from my skin, and that was like right after I used it. It wasn't that I used it for a few days and found that reaction. That was almost an immediate reaction to me. It really left my skin really dry. So I'm thinking that this is probably better for somebody that has more normal to oily skin rather than normal to dry skin, and that they would probably like it. So unfortunately for me, this wasn't a great product and I definitely wouldn't repurchase it. So keeping with cleansers, and luckily this one was a free one. It came with my Estee Lauder gift set, the holiday gift set. It's the Estee Lauder Renutrieve Intensive Hydrating Cream Cleanser. So the problem for me was not that the performance of it, that it didn't do what it said. I really didn't use it long enough to see whether it would do what it's claiming to do. The problem for me was the fragrance. Every time I open it up, I cannot handle it. It is such a strong, flowery type of scent, and it's not something that dissipates quickly. It's really a strong scent, so it may be a great product and it may do what it's supposed to, but I have no idea of why they wouldn't do it in an unscented. So I'm glad that I got it for free because I wouldn't purchase it. So keeping in line with the Estee Lauder holiday gift, and I do love the two palettes that came with it. The other items I'm just sort of so-so with, and one of them is the Estee Lauder Gentle Eye Makeup Remover. So this definitely didn't work as well as my Bioderma did. I had stinging from it. It took a lot more product to get my makeup off, and so I don't like that. It wasn't that I had a tug because I saturated the cotton pad really well and held it over, but I really needed to use a lot of it. So it's not a terrible product, but it's not something that I would repurchase again. The next product that I bought that I really didn't like, and it's probably due to the silicone in it, is the Yves Saint Laurent Top Secrets. It's their Flash Radiance with the skincare brush. I've shown this to you before. It wasn't that I didn't like the way that the product worked. I actually did. It made my makeup go on really nicely, but my skin had a reaction to it. I guess it's from the silicones, but I broke out from it, and so that I definitely wouldn't try using it again. And the other thing that I didn't like, which is I think I showed you when I showed the product originally, is that it has that brush that you squeeze it and then it comes into the brush and you put it on. Well, that's not really very sanitary to me. I mean, how do you clean that? So I sort of didn't like the idea too. And you can sort of, I don't know if you can see, I'm going to go in like really close, but can you see there's sort of like a brownish tint on the ends of that? So something else that I would not repurchase. The next item that I definitely wouldn't repurchase is the M Perfect Cover BB cream. It's great for your skin. It's supposed to have great sunscreen in it. As a matter of fact, they say it has an SPF of 42+++, which absolutely cracks me up because what exactly is the plus equivalent to? But anyways, a lot of companies seem to be doing it. I get 1+, meaning that it's better than 42, but does 3 pluses mean it's 3 times better than 42? So I actually hated this, if I can say that, and I'm sorry to have to say that, but I did not like the coverage at all. But was worse than that, this has such a strong petroleum smell to it. Now I thought I was going to be really clever and figure out a way to use it so that I wouldn't have to waste it, and what I decided to do was use it on the back of my hands when I go to get my nails done, because you know there's a lot of controversy now about the lights, and because I have gel put on them, I have to go under those lights, and they're talking about not only discoloration on your skin but also maybe skin cancer. It's very remote, but they're still speaking about it. So for me, I now put on suntan lotion on my hands before I go. So I thought, well, I'll use this. I actually went to get them done a few days ago, and I kept like looking around like, what's going on? I couldn't figure out what that gasoline sort of smell was. And I was thinking to myself, I didn't go and get gas. Yes, I do fill up my own tank. I know, amazing. Thumbs up for that. But I thought, because that's what it smelled like. It smelled like I had gone and put gas in the car and it had spilled on my fingers and I hadn't washed my hands properly. And finally, I sort of went like this and I realized that it was this product. So this is going in the trash for me, which means, of course, that I'm not buying it again. The next product is not makeup, but actually a makeup pen. It's from Trish McEvoy. It's called the Beauty To Go Refillable Pen. It looks like that. This was a great concept. When I first heard about this, I thought, what a great idea, especially with all the restrictions on flying. So I went out and bought it. It wasn't really that expensive. I think it was maybe about $20, $25, which isn't terrible. But the problem is, I'm going to hold it up close so you can see, the product leaks all the time. There's a cylinder inside of it. And can you see this product is all on the outside of the cylinder. So obviously it's supposed to go inside, and it's like all over my hands, it's all over the pen, so it's completely useless for me because I'm not going to travel and keep it in my bag and get it over everything, so not buying it again. The next item is an eyeshadow from MAC. It was from the Tarte collection. It's called A Wish Come True. Now when I first saw this, I was like, oh, this is like a must. I have got to get this. It is so beautiful. It's a pink tone with a lot of brown in it, which is colors that I wear all the time. If I can swatch it and show you. It comes out a sort of very light pink, and you really have to put a lot of it on to get any sort of payback from it. It just doesn't show up that well. So it's a really beautiful design. I guess if I could figure out how to put it on the wall, it would be nice for artwork, but it doesn't work as an eyeshadow for me. The next item is the Eve Clone Cleanser, and I have it just like the little sample size. Sort of like a yellowish tone. So I actually liked this product when I first started using it. It does have a scent to it, which I didn't mind, and I really like the idea of using the muslin cloth and exfoliating your skin that way, although I use my Mia, so I really don't, need to do that anymore. And actually now I use it twice a day. Thank you very much, Tammy. And so I don't really need an exfoliator in my cleanser. But the reason that I really had to stop using it is that because of the mineral oil that's in it, and that's like one of the top ingredients in it, my face was clogged from it. So much so that when I went to my friend who's my facialist and takes care of my skin, she asked me immediately what I was doing differently to my skin. And she said, I got to do a really deep cleansing for you. I don't know what you're using. And the minute I told her I was using this, she was like, oh no, you're not. Put that away right away. The next item is my Laura Mercier Cream Smooth Foundation in Warm Ivory. This is a real full coverage foundation, which is something that I just don't really like. It's on that same idea of the Dream Smooth Mousse from Maybelline, and I think that all of the companies now are jumping on board because Maybelline has had such success with that. I've tried different ways to apply it. This was a real disappointment, but this absolutely did not work. The last three items before I tell you the item that I'm the most upset about is my MAC, the Luster. It's Surprise Me. Now, this is a beautiful, beautiful color, but it's a beautiful color when you look at it in this form. It's not a beautiful color when you put it on your lip because it barely goes on your lip. It is so sheer that it just didn't have enough payoff for me. I will keep it and use it because I'll use it over a liner or over maybe another lipstick, but I wouldn't repurchase it. The last two lip items are from Michael Todd. The first one is the lipstick called Intrigue, another beautiful color. But this lipstick has such a heavy, waxy kind of feeling. I'm not really sure why, because I know that a lot of people have said that they like his lipsticks, and maybe this was just one that was older and was dried out or something, but I've tried it a few times, and every time I try it, I actually take it off the minute I put it on. And the next is also from Michael Todd. It's the Cream Glaze. It's in the color of Pink Coral. Absolutely beautiful shade. There's nothing wrong with the product. The color is absolutely magnificent. This is another one that the issue is with the smell of it. This has such an incredibly fruity, sweet type of smell. every time I put this on, and of course you're putting it on your lips, so if you're not going to smell it when it's on your lips, you can't get any closer to your nose than that. I just couldn't stand to wear it, and I had to take it off, so this is something else that I wouldn't repurchase. So my last product that I'm going to share with you is one that I'm going to say is not only something that is my least favorite, but I'm definitely going to say that it's the worst product of the year. And I have to say it's a product that I am the most disappointed in, mainly because of the company, even more so than the product. And here's why. What it is my Eve Pearl, my high definition dual foundation, and I have it in the light. So I told you before when I reviewed it that I just didn't like the consistency of it at all, that it seemed to sort of sweat, and I don't know if it's because of this little plastic top that goes on. It's actually a very nice idea, but just doesn't work at all. But what I have found out, and actually it was just today, I was watching Gina Bina Weena 99. She was doing her worst products of 2010, and of course she mentioned this also because she didn't like it either. She didn't feel that she had been color matched well as I didn't, and she really had a reaction to it. I didn't wear it long enough to get a reaction to it, luckily. But what she just said today on her video was that she got an email from the company saying that it's possible that she was given a different one, that they've been experimenting with a new formulation, and maybe that's why she didn't like it, so they'll send her one of the original. So I'm sort of like absolutely in shock. Aren't there consumer protection laws against that? That's sort of like a bait and switch type of sale. And why is Eve Pearl not getting out immediately on her website and saying to anybody that purchased this foundation? Now, I understand about final sale. I have no problems whatsoever. I bought this on a final sale knowing that if something didn't work out, too bad for me. I'm a big girl. I know what I did, no problem. There were some wonderful people that wrote to me about, why don't you try to get back in touch with the company, and they gave me all these different suggestions. But truthfully, I bought it knowing that if I didn't like it, I couldn't return it, and that was it. I wasn't going to figure out a way to get it back because that was the deal and I accepted it. But to hear today that it's possible that there were different formulations that were set out and that maybe some of us don't have the original, I'm just absolutely so disappointed. As much as I love the lip products that I got from her and would definitely repurchase them, I will never repurchase from this company again if they don't rectify this. Now, I've gone and sent an email to the company asking them how they're going to track to know who got the new formulations, who got the original, and whether they're going to do anything about it. And I urge everybody that purchased this on the sale and perhaps doesn't like it, I'm going to leave the email address down below of their customer service. Now, I've written to them and I'm hoping that they'll write back to me, and I urge anybody else out there that feels that they don't like the product and maybe now it's because they got a different product than they thought that they were ordering, I urge you to also email the company. I really believe that Eve Pearl has a fabulous, fabulous reputation, and I can't imagine that if enough of us don't email and ask that they won't take care of it. At least I'm really hoping that they will. Okay, so on to a lighter note. I'm going to do a quick face of the day. So the first thing that I did today is I used my Devitt primer. Then I used my Guerlain Aqua foundation, and I used it in the 02. I used my new Tarte eye primer for my eyes, and then I went in and used this gorgeous, gorgeous palette from Dior. So I used the light pink as a highlighter under my eyebrow. I used it on the inner corner of my eye, about halfway in. Then I used the gray color and I went from the middle of my eye out. And then I used the purple color in my outer V. And then I also went in and I used my transformer. I went back into the dark color and I used that as a liner. For contour and blush, I went in from the Mark Tartan. And what I did is I used this darker color for contour, and then I flipped it open and I used the inside lighter pink color for blush. For mascara, I have this little sample of the Chanel Inimitable Intense Mascara. For my brows, I used my new IT Cosmetic Brow Power Pencil, and then I went over them with my Browmousse from Tweezerman. For lipstick today, what I did is I used my Estee Lauder lip liner pen in 02 Sheer Pink. Really, really pretty color. And then I used just a gloss over it, and it's the LipFusion in Full Frontal. And then to finish up, I use my Microquatic finishing spray, the one that I put in this little bottle, and I'm really, really enjoying that too. So that's my face of the day. Those are the least favorite products of mine for 2010. Still working on a few other videos for you, so I hope to see you tomorrow. Take care, everybody. Have a great day.